this is That's My Pizza, once again with another Langrisser Mobile video, and I actually don't think I've made a Langrisser video for like at least a year. Yeah, but in any case, I just felt like getting back to it since the new season of Apex Arena has opened, and yeah, I'm actually a little bit less busy due to the holidays this weekend, so I'm not too sure if I can make this a more consistent thing, but we'll see. Yeah, I was just kind of thinking about doing just some regular Apex Arena match reviews, say on just Sunday PST, because I generally am a bit freer during those times. So I was just thinking, just review some matches, and then if you're interested in me reviewing the match, you can just ping me or something, and I can potentially do that. In any case, I'm just going to go through pretty much all of my Apex matches for the last 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm just going to go through the qualifying matches and then the stuff I played pretty much yesterday. In any case, let's just get to it. So, qualifying match number 1. Okay. On 11-19. Okay, so let's just start this. So, I think the battle against Lufia Scarlet was actually kind of tough for me. Yeah, because it was another playoffs player. But yeah, I just kind of find it annoying that basically all, like, of the 10 and or 11 matches I played in this first 2 weeks, I pretty much got placed against rush team, well, a good number of rush teams as P2, which is really unfavorable for me, and it's just generally kind of annoying. In any case, Lufia is basically went Clotaire first pick, which I think is very questionable. And then I just pick up Wedem because he can pretty much mess with anybody without a tank. So that's why I got rid of his Wedem, and I got rid of his the only tank in his team. And basically, Lufia is second picked Ironblood Commander, so she can buff up basically his entire team, which is full of whatchamacallit, infantry, infantry units, so he can actually buff those units. But Clotaire first pick was just not good. And then, yeah, he's pretty much banning out any of my characters that could potentially heal or benefit from my current team comp. And basically, I just want to comment on the team comp right here, is that Clotaire first pick is just awful. Like, Clotaire is just not good, especially in this meta anymore. Then Ironblade Commander, fine second pick, since a good chunk of his team is infantry locked. And then he picks up Michelle, who benefits from Ironblood, but I generally don't think is great, since this is more of a single target rush meta. So any AoE units kind of are not great. Kruger just is not good anymore, since he's just way too slow. Well, he needs a turn to prep his 3C, and then he actually needs to get in range to use it, which has so many drawbacks, and he's likely to just get killed when he goes in. And then Alumera, or whatever her... Oh, Ashmere. Ashmere is just bad, so I kind of let her go through anyways. And then on my side, I picked up Wedem because he has no tanks, and I can pretty much bomb rush him with him, even though I don't. And since he's like pretty much committed to rushing me, I go Gintoki second, since even though he's really new, he's really good, and I'll kind of show you why. I picked up Epsilon here, since I can, even though he has a bunch of AoE, I'm not too worried about him, since basically these two clowns can take him out. And then he also has the self-heal and the barrier, which is always useful. Sigma, well, once Warner, he gets buffed by Epsilon, has good buffs, and I can throw him in defensive stance, so he has some self-sustain. And then I mostly picked up Lucretia here because I didn't need a tank here, because I didn't have any healers or anybody who'd really benefit from a tank. And then she also has some inbuilt healing, so yeah, there's pretty much that. Okay, in any case, on to the match. So basically this match is going to mostly be determined by basically the first turn. So Lufia just pretty much runs in Clotaire, and he hits my first 2 rows, which I really don't care. And here, I think he actually kills off my Warner because he doesn't have any... Right then, he didn't have any whatchamacallit, any health buffs, so I changed that up on his equipment, and then I just send in Gintoki and just one-shot this Clotaire because Gintoki has First Strike, and yeah, First Strike is just bananas. Also, he hits like a truck, and I just heal a lot. So yeah, pretty much Gintoki took no damage from Clotaire. And then now Lufia is buffing up Iron Blood to send in both his, whatchamacallit, yeah, both his AoE units. I'm just positioning my Epsilon out of the way so he doesn't get bonked at all. And here, he just Dark Dragon Breaths, almost kills my Werner, which is gonna bite him in that, well, almost kills my, whatchamacallit, my Wedem immediately, and then I just throw in Lucretia to try to kill this guy off, since there's nothing really else she can do. And then Lufia just goes in and hits my Lucretia to do some damage and gets rid of my Wedem, but he's gonna regret that massively because Gintoki gets an act again if he's already acted and somebody on his team dies. So I just go in, dunk her with Gintoki, and then I get first move. Yeah, and then I get first move next turn, and Ashmir can't reach because she's affected. Yeah. Oh yeah, just let me remark 1 second. So, Ashmir, she could move up here, and normally she would have 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, she couldn't even hit me. Then she would have had to move up one more square, which she couldn't have because of her positioning. In any case, she doesn't even hit that hard anyway, so she's not a huge deal. But she wouldn't have gotten her extra range because of the Wedem debuff. In any case, I just go in and take out what's his name out, Kruger. Yeah, he basically does nothing, and then Ashmir goes in and fails to kill my Gintoki because Ashmir is bad, and then Lufia pretty much has to surrender because I can just move my Gintoki back and just continue to heal or wait for my act again to come back up. And essentially I would have had to force him into committing to putting himself in a bad position where my Epsilon could just pick up, I could pretty much pick up a 2-for-1 kill, a 1-for-1 trade, and I was already up, so yeah. But the main thing about that was Gintoki being able to essentially do a 3-for-2 trade with very little consequences, so yeah. But yeah, on to the next match. I don't remember this one. Okay, yeah, it's another rush team. Ugh, it's so annoying. So I just ban out, what's her name? Akaya, because she's annoying, and since he's kind of a mix of AoE and single target rush, I pick up my tank because I know she's going to be useful. He picks up Clotaire again, which I have to keep saying is a really bad first pick. Like, Clotaire, honestly, is just not very useful in the long run. Like, depending on the setup, I would probably just let Clotaire go, because he's just not that effective. And then he picks up Kruger, which is Demon for some reason, and then, you know, here I'm just banning out his single target units because he has so many of them, and I kind of want to put myself in a position where I'm essentially allowing the units that I know I can kill with any of my remaining units through. And essentially, he kind of gave me an Exodia combo where he gave me let me go get Sissy White and then let me get Gintoki. So yeah, so I'm gonna pick him up here. And the thing about that is, Gintoki's like on death reactions apply on like the minions that Sissy can spawn. So I can kind of use that to my advantage. And here he's basically going on full rush with basically no support, and yeah, basically no support, and I can just go in and mess him up badly. I pretty much ban out like any self-sustained units or units that can survive like one hit from my team. So yeah, he's basically banning out units that can bang out the rest of my DPS because he's pretty much already banned out all my supports. And then here he picks up Lucretia, and I think I'm gonna ban out Kyura since she synergizes well with Lucretia, and I think I'm gonna ban out, oh yeah, her. Honestly, I don't know why I banned her. Maybe I want to give myself more of an ability to just throw my units out in the front without thinking about guarding them. And I think he picks up Sage here. Yeah, he picks up Sage here because he realized that he has like no map control. So from here, I'm pretty much am not very worried about him coming in because basically all my units outrange him massively. And here I just throw out a mercenary to effectively just block him in the center. And here, yeah, I don't believe I brought, yeah, I brought a sneak attack rather than the other one see that Diehard has, because Sissy gets buffed by Christiane. And then he uses Light Array, which honestly is not very good. Desuwa. And yeah, pretty much he's just putting himself in a position where he can buff his units and throw himself at me, which I'm really not worried about because Clotaire is just bad. And here I get a Lucky Breeze, so I'm pretty much gonna go in and try to kill off this Ares, though I believe I whiff it slightly. Yeah. Yeah, it's because I got both the attack down and the damage down debuffs. So yeah, I go in and attempt to kill off the Ares, and it just whiffs pretty badly. Yeah. Yeah, how much HP does he have left? Okay, it doesn't whiff that badly, but I figure like, oh, oops, I can't kill him. So I'm just gonna stay here and pray that I stun the Kruger, which I do. Yeah, so he heals up his whatchamacallit. He heals up his Ares, which not a big deal, but here I move up again Toki because I figure that he's gonna try to do something, or I'm just gonna force him to kill my mercenary, which I'm perfectly fine with. And here, I believe he actually... Okay, so yeah. He only has AoE skills on this Lucretia since he's going full AoE, so I'm not really not worried about that. And here she just black holes, and I'm like, whatever. Yeah. Oh, but I also got buff blocked. So yeah, I just do that, and then I just sacrifice the minion so I can get an act again on my Gin. And so now he sends his Clotaire, which I'm not worried about at all. And I believe he just hits like 2 of my guys. Yeah, he just hits 2 of my guys. Doesn't do much. And my Sissy is immune to fixed damage. And then I just go in because I'm gonna heal like 50% of my HP anyways. And then I just go in. I think I kill off the Ares so he can't fall up on my Sissy. So she's dead. And then yeah, my whole team is back here. He's blown a ton of skills already, and my Epsilon is just ready to kick some ass. Yeah. And I think I make a mistake here. Yeah, I do. So, rather than... So, my Gin actually dies here because of the Crystal Warlocks and because he's so low. Yeah, instead of doing that, I should have gone in, killed the puppet, and then either stun Kruger again or stun Sage. Because both of them are pretty low, and Kruger still has all his stuff up, and I could have just body blocked him. And then, yeah, Clotaire's basically doing nothing, and Sage is pretty much just the healer. And by gimping Lucretia, it would have been a lot more helpful. So here he kills off my what's his name? My Diehard. Then I just kill off his Clotaire because pretty much that was the only real good good move I had at that point, because I kind of screwed the pooch. So here he just smacks my Epsilon, doesn't really do much. And then I just go in and kill Kruger. So yeah, pretty much all he has left is Sage and Lucretia, which are not threats to me. And I still have 3 units and a healer and dispels, so yeah. And plus, Lucretia only has her Heaven's Sanction up, so it's really not a huge deal. So yeah, I pretty much start dispelling stuff with Sissy, since I can pretty much spam mass heal with her. Now he pushes me back. I'm like not worried at all, since I can just continue to heal. Oh yeah, and here I throw in the Mercenary to debuff Lucretia so she doesn't do as much damage, and so I can potentially get a heal on Epsilon. Oh yeah, and I just want to point out that my Epsilon is using heavy infantry, because if he had the zombies, he would have been affected by the Dazzling Light, which is a pain in the butt. So yeah, just letting you know about that. Anyways, I'm pretty much gonna win at this point, because he can't get through my Lucretia, my Christiane, and my Epsilon will pretty much dunk any unit he has, and my Sissy White can pretty much keep all my units healthy. So there's really nothing for me to worry about here. So here I just use Epsilon's power, and then I just heal him up, and I don't heal my Christiane since she still has her revive, so I'm like, whatever. So here she black holes my team again, which really doesn't do much. And yeah, I just heal everything back up and dispel that stuff, and then yeah, kind of ignore everything. I think Christiane loses her first life here, which really doesn't matter at this point. And yeah, this is pretty much in the bag. And here I believe I just go in, dunk his puppet. Yep. Went in, dunked his puppet, and now I'm just getting my 3C on Epsilon back again. So yeah, there's pretty much nothing he can do. I believe Christiane has first strike. She basically takes no damage. And then I heal up Christiane again. And then, oh yeah, I bring in an infantry, because why not? And then he uses Light Array, pops my Epsilon's shield, but like I said, pretty much doing nothing at this point. So yeah, here I just kill off the Lucretia, which has the drip near for some reason, and then I just start positioning in a way that Sage really can't do anything to me. Yeah, so pretty much Sage is pretty much boned at this point, because I can just walk in and just smack him around, and he can't really do anything. So yeah, Sage is pretty much dead, and yeah, that's game 2 down. So, yeah, not too hard. I made a couple mistakes, but that's just kind of on brand for me. I make a lot of mistakes. And then third placement match, where is that again? It's against Yasobi, which I think is another kind of tough one. So yeah, next, this one, what is Yasobi running again? It kind of looks, it's kind of weird, because it has a lot of, like, rushy elements to it, but it's not really rushy at all. It has a tank for some reason, has Reen for some reason, and yeah, doesn't have, like, kind of the normal rushy stuff you'd see, like Luna or Akaya or any other speed boost units. So yeah, it's just kind of weird. So first off, they ban my Wedum, and I think I reciprocate. Yep, I do. And here I think, yeah, I pick up Christiane again, since he does have a number of single target units that I don't deal with, and then they ban out my healers, and then they're pretty much committing to rushing me with Iron Blood. So I start banning out some really annoying infantry units, and then I pick up Sissy White. So he can't completely mess with me. He bans out, they ban out Gintoki and my Lucretia, which pretty good pick. It's because Gintoki synergizes really well with Sissy, and then Lucretia is just annoying and can get buffed by Christiane. Then I started just banning out his AoE single target units because I know he's probably going to go for that. And now with my L1 ban pick, I'm pretty much forcing him to pick up, Ledin, who honestly doesn't really synergize with this team at all. So then I ban out his Elwyn and Sherry, since they synergize well with Elwyn and are generally annoying. And then I think here I pick up, I pick up Warner here, since Warner is just a very good unit. And then, okay, and then I believe I pick up Epsilon here. And then, I pick up Epsilon so I can get around the tank. I don't really care about. I really don't know why he picked up Alma. Probably would have been a better idea to pick up Sissy White, since she's also a Glory and she can do a lot more other stuff. Like, Speed Boost would kind of be useless. Also, I kind of want to just check this. And okay, 1.4 damage. Okay, so pretty much here I kind of go with the boring options where I pick up. Well, I'm positioning my Warner aggressively, since I honestly don't know what he's gonna do, and he's pretty much all AoE. So yeah, he kind of benefits from having defensive stance up. And then here I'm just positioning myself in a way where I can't completely get run over by his AoE. So if he gets speed boost up here, he would, Julian wouldn't be able to hit any of my units. So I'm just positioning carefully, but this Kruger would be very frustrating to deal with if I'm not careful. Plus, he's gonna get speed boost in a second. So he gets speed boost, and the Kruger is probably my main target, since he can pretty much reach my entire team, while the Julian I don't really care about, since he has only one AoE and it doesn't even reach very far. Plus, his speed boost doesn't really kick in until I take damage. So here I just throw down my speed boost, since I got lucky on the first roll. And this is kind of key, because being able to speed boost this early allows me to do a lot of shenanigans with Elwyn. So they holy summon something in, I don't really care, and then I just throw my Elwyn in because I can. And there's really nothing he can do about it. But the main kicker is that Ledin actually doesn't have Divine Guard up, so he doesn't protect Ironblood right here, and he left Kruger open, who is pretty much my main target at the moment. So I pretty much can either take out these two, while Yasobi really can't respond to me in any meaningful way. Like, sure, he can throw his AoE on my team, hit my defense stance Warner, which will do nothing, hit my Epsilon, which will pretty much do nothing because I have Sissy White right here to heal him up. So there's really nothing he can do that's meaningful, and in response to my Elwyn just charging in and killing him. So my Elwyn goes in, kills Kruger, and that pretty much knocks out one of my main threats. So Elwyn is pretty much dead at this point, so I don't really care. And then, here he decides to finish off my Elwyn for some reason, instead of going in, but I think that's probably would have been the better option. And here I'm just running in and gaining more gaining more of the center. And there goes my Elwyn, which was a 1-for-1 trade against one of his AoE units. That would have been a very big problem for me to deal with. So now I'm just long-term investing my my Epsilon because I can, and then here I throw in my minion there so he can't pull in my Lucretia, my Sissy White, and for some reason he decides to go in and just kill the summon, which is very questionable because this revive is only going to last one turn, and I don't plan to go in, and now he can't pressure me in any way since all he has is this Julian for AoE, and then his Iron Blood would have to go through my Christiane, who I just realized is using Phalanxes when she should be using something like whatchamacallit, Queen Guard, whatever, it doesn't matter. So here I'm just positioning my my team in a safe way, and I believe here I use Assault Stance since I can pretty much continue the pressure on him, on Yaosobi. And there's really nothing Yaosobi can do. Though, I'm not at the point where I want to risk attacking this Julian, because my Werner may just whiff the attack because he has the attack damage down, debuff, and all that annoying stuff. So, yeah, right now Yaosobi's just taking some tiles, so I can't go in and just completely dunk his team. But it really doesn't matter since I can just pretty much wait here, and then I throw in my Epsilon, since there's literally nothing he can do because Death from Above is the targeted attack, so he can't pop the stealth. And here I'm just move up my Werner slightly, and I bait out the Death from Above since it really doesn't do anything. And then I use Desperate Measures to buff up my Werner, and then I Dual Blade Strike him and finish him off. Since my Werner had a lot of attack, and then I pretty much have won the game since his only offensive unit left, well, their only offensive unit left is Iron Blood, and she has to go through my tank. And my Epsilon's in a place where I can just go in and assassinate her. Plus, I really don't even need to move. Yeah, and plus they're down one unit, so I can pretty much have the last attack, no matter what situation I'm in. So yeah, Lennon goes in and hits my Christian, does basically nothing, and then I kill off his only DPS unit, and at this point I win. So yeah, that's my placement matches, which, yeah, kinda nifty, but yeah, not too interesting. And then for my other two qualifying matches, I just auto-surrender here, because it wouldn't really have made a difference in my placement. So for the matches that I played yesterday, we start off with Crunchy Mommy, which honestly is kind of annoying because it is another rush team. So yeah, ban out the Akaya, because she is annoying as heck. And then for some reason, they ban out my McLean, which I later realized is because most of his team is footlocked, and he basically has no flyers, so McLean would just completely mess him up because of his water tiles. So he doesn't ban out my wet him first, so to counter his rush, I go wet him, and then he picks up his Autocrato, which kind of annoying, but it's not a big deal. And then in retrospect, I probably should have gotten rid of Autocrato, because he didn't ban out my healers, because then I could have just picked up Leanna and then just completely ignored all of Clotair's fixed damage stuff. So yeah, I pick up Leanna here, since the Act Again will pretty much allow me to just bum rush him turn 1. And then he picks up his Infantry Ares, which he's going to send in turn 1 with Luna's buff and whatnot. But that's not a huge deal to me, in all honesty. So I pick up Lucretia here, since she can get through Lucretia, Autocrato's guard, and she does magic damage, which is useful. Then I start getting rid of his other rush AoE units. And here he picks up Michelle, which, decent pick. Oh, I picked up Diehard, because I had a feeling that Diehard's buff stealing would be pretty useful, plus the stun would be very useful. In case, I pick up Christiana here. Oh yeah, so I can buff up these two, while also doing other stuff. But yeah, this is another battle that's pretty much going to end in one turn. So yeah, pretty much here he throws the 3C onto my Leanna, which I don't really care about. And then I start moving up my Christiane, because I figure her aura will be very useful in the long run. And here he throws in Luna, which, yep, I suspected he'd do, and then I think he kind of underestimated me here. But my main thing is he's going to just try to do some extra damage with his Ares right now, and he's going to do some damage, but it's really not that useful. Plus, now that I think about it, I probably should have just picked my Christian here so he can't hit my entire team. And whatever, it doesn't really matter. So he goes in, hits my Christian Elwin, my Christian, well, for my team. Does some damage, but not enough for me to really care. And then I throw in Diehard here, since he will heal from his talent due to being in range of Christian, and then because he's in range of Luna, I throw him in, and then I end up stealing her wind buff. Heal him up some more, and then I try to stun his team, which I forgot doesn't work because of the mass resist. And here, I believe he tried to steal. Yeah, he tried to steal his wind buff back, but he ended up stealing a buff from my Christian, which I don't care about. So here, I pretty much have this in the bag, since his entire team can't hit me, and then I have Act again and healing support. So yeah, I go back, heal up my Lucretia, and then even though she gets debuffed, it's pretty much too much for him. So yeah, here I just go in and I completely smack Ares, and he even goes down through all the debuffs and Angels and Defender of the People. Like, I want to see this again. So it's only... So... Yeah, Impure Shockwave goes up, and then I think the archers, yeah, pretty much murder all the angels, so he gets none of that, and he pretty much goes down very quickly. So now, my Wedham can just go in for free and pretty much smack anybody on his team. So I jump in, and then I take out his Kruger, because why not? Plus, he's the only one not really guarded, and he pretty much has all of his AoEs left. And then, yeah, pretty much here, I have a full team. He only has Michelle, who has very little movement and can't reach into my back line. So at this point, it's pretty much game over. Yep, so Screaming Mommy retreats after that, since he basically threw a bunch of stuff at me and got nothing for it. Next one. I forgot what this one was. Okay, yeah, this is kind of another... This team is kind of similar to me, though. They have two tanks rather than my one. And I have a lot more assassins than he does. So here I get rid of his Iron Blood because I don't want to deal with any of his assassin support. And then I pick up my tank. And here I think he gets a little overconfident in the fact that I picked a tank first and he picked up his Gintoki. Which, not bad, but he still needs to get through my tank. So then I ban out his other units that can dispel and annoy me, and then I pick up Epsilon, since he'll benefit from a very gung-ho strategy if he uses it. So now he bans out my Iron Blood and my Elwyn, since he's gonna would have had trouble with both of them, and then he picks up his Epsilon, which he's pretty much going on he's sharing the same brain worms with me. So then I get rid of his tank, and then I get rid of Lost him, because he'd be a pain to deal with on my team, and his zipping around at the speed sound would be annoying. So here he starts to get rid of one of my healers, so he can do like a double healer ban at this point. So, but I think that kind of move was done a little too late in the game to actually have an effect. Oh, also, I pick up McLean here, since he has a revive and kind of can mess around with Axios's assassins. Plus, he has two mages, which we'll have to get through Christian, and yeah, he'll have a hard time with that. So he picks up his last assassin, and then I ban out Lucretia and Sherry, since I'd have a hard time basically killing both of them. And then here I pick up Sissy White, since it was pretty much the perfect time to pick one up. And then he bans out my Warner and my bans out my Light of Genesis, so I can't do assassin shenanigans and teleport my Epsilon in to just assassinate one of his units, and then he bans out my Warner for the assassin support, and then he picks up his Light of Genesis so he can do the assassin shenanigans, but I'm like, I don't care. And then I pick up Sherry. And I leave the Christiane because I have, like, the majority of my team are assassins, so it doesn't really matter. And yeah, my Sherry's just there to apply pressure and potentially kill off his units if he gets too cocky. So here I'm just slowly moving to the center, plotting my buffs and all that jazz. And here we're just burning movements on units that we don't really care about, so we get a better sense of what we're doing. And here I start positioning my McLean aggressively since he has the revive. And then I just throw on long-term investment since I have basically no other better moves. And yeah, he's spreading out, so because he can't really make a good move on me without putting himself in risk. And here since he kind of put his units in a very aggressive place, I can position my Epsilon in a way where I can pretty much just throw him up here so he can't, because I have stealth on him, and he won't be threatened by any of them except Gintoki, which I later realized had his pseudo dash, but honestly doesn't really matter because well, you'll see. So yeah, I throw in my Epsilon. He burns the act again for Gintoki here, and then scooter dashes my Epsilon back to this fortress. And does a little damage, but doesn't really matter since I just go in and heal him back up. So my Epsilon's still in a very aggressive spot while also being safe. And then he just goes for my Sherry, which does absolutely nothing because he doesn't have enough attack stacks to just bust through her. And here I'm just getting some extra damage on Epsilon and healing up my Sherry because I can, and then you'll see. So then he burns a move, and then I just send in McLean because he's super safe at this point, and I just want to see this. And then McLean goes in and finishes off the Epsilon, easy peasy. Yeah, and then he goes down, and then I pretty much am at a huge advantage. And then here I'm going to get a 2-for-1 trade. So yeah, he's going to teleport Werner in and then just one-shot finish off my Sherry, which I don't care at this point because she's basically my 4th pick. So yeah, I'm just protecting my team. He can't touch my Epsilon, and then yeah, his Werner is going to go down next turn. Yep, so got the nice 2-for-1 trade. And then yeah, there's really not much he can do because even though Werner's like on defensive tiles, he's not in defensive stance, he's in offensive stance. Well, strike stance. And yeah, so I pretty much go in and finish him off here because Epsilon hits like a truck. And yeah, there's just still nothing he can really do about me, and my Epsilon's back at full HP, and pretty much Axios' entire team is stuck way in the back since he can't really do anything. And so I keep putting my McLean in an aggressive position because I can. And there's really nothing he can do at this point. So yeah, I'm just slowly gaining more ground, and he's slowly being forced to come into me. And then I'm gonna enter Mercenary since I can, and I think he ends up surrendering here because I think his main strategy was going to be push back my Christiane or something, and then come in with Light of Genesis. But that wouldn't really have mattered anyway, since I could just move my Christiane up after she got pushed back. In any case, I won that pretty handily. And then here is against Forested, which I get to actually display a little bit more McLean here. So I believe... Oh, whoops. Oh wait, this is a different match, so no, I don't actually get to use McLean here. So I get my Wedum banned out first, and then this is a very weird team because it has like Salvaria and then whatchamacallit? Oboro, which are very well, not tank. They're very tank push units. Yeah, he picks up Silvaria, who is actually really bad, so I really don't care. So here I'm pretty much just getting anything that can, getting rid of anything that can synergize well with Elwyn and put pressure on me or be single target units. So yeah, here I'm pretty much just letting through Genesis because it doesn't really matter what she does because she can't get through my Christiane. Then I just pick up Gintoki since he's very tanky and he can deal with Elwyn due to phalanxes. Yeah, I'm being very, very careless right now. And since pretty much my entire rest of my team benefits from Iron Blood, I just pick her up here. And yeah, then I believe he picks up Frozen Seal. So yeah, as you can, if you're pretty versed in PvP, you can kind of understand that I have a massive advantage with this team. So yeah, and you'll see how I almost throw it. Because I'm a bit of a dumbass. In any case, he doesn't have any like units to deal with my any tanks to really protect him against my single target units. And yeah. So here I'm pretty much throwing up my units very aggressively since he doesn't have any AoE, so I can pretty much mess with him that way. Also, I just want to point out that Akaya doesn't have any of her speed boosts. She actually has her single target skills, which are very bad. So yeah, I throw up Christiane since she's going to give me a little extra movement. And here I'm being a little bit cautious of the Silvaria because she could potentially kill off my Iron Blood. And then, yeah. She prepares her Valkyrie Strike, which I believe can actually hit my Gintoki, but I'm not too worried about it since Gintoki is very bulky and he's on terrain. So also Silvaria kind of hits like a wet noodle. So yeah. Also my Gintoki is actually very bulky. Yeah, when he hits 6 stars, he might be at 1400 like HP, which is pretty nuts. And then I throw in my Sissy White since I can, and and I'm gonna also be kind of trolly with this. Yeah, so I throw that minion in, kill it off, and then I act again. Gin gets his act again, and then I go in and kill off his. And then I go in and kill off his Elwyn turn 1. But unfortunately, this is also going to cost my Gintoki, but I kind of expected that at the beginning. So yeah, Gintoki goes in, completely destroys Elwyn, and this is a 1-for-1 trade, which, yeah, very good for me. And even though I get the win wall, Gintoki still goes down pretty easily. Yeah, if I was using like Sand Seas, that wouldn't have happened, but then again, I would have had a harder time killing Elwyn at that point. So yeah, here I'm just... He has to burn move to get that 1-for-1 trade. And then... He's just continuing to turtle, which is perfectly fine with me, since I have more single target units than he does, and I can completely mess him up. And then he uses Silvaria's thing on Christiane, does barely half her health, and then... Yeah, I'm pretty much positioning myself in a way that I can pretty much finish off this team. So, here he is just going to hit my Christiane, and I think it might... Oh, no, it doesn't kill her off. Almost does, though. Which, honestly, not a big deal, because he doesn't really have any other units to go through her. So, Akaya goes in, and then throws in whatever. And does like 0 damage to me. And then I just kill off the Wolf Soul so I can get more cooldown on my Epsilon, and yeah. And then Silvaria keeps setting up, which at this point does not do anything. And here I make a bit of a mistake. So I actually hack the Light of Genesis instead of the Akaya, because I thought I could get a kill on her, but unfortunately I got debuffed, which kind of sucks. And plus, she also had sorceresses up, so, and she's on terrain, and the sorceress is at full health, so whoops. But in any case, I probably should have just gone for the Akaya, since that was a free kill, and she wouldn't have gotten hurt at all. Because now I'm in the spot where I have to essentially start trading units, which is not good. Like here, I could have taken out the Light of Genesis and the Akai very easily if I wasn't a complete doofus. But, oh well. That's how it happens. So here, he finishes off Light of Genesis, which I don't really care about since I can still salvage this. And then I just kill off the Light of Genesis right here. And then I pretty much have this game in the bag. So yeah, he tries hitting my Epsilon, does pretty much nothing, and yeah, I think I'm gonna just act again my Epsilon here, because I can, and I just wanted to end this one match. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot that happens. But yeah, Sylvaria goes down and I win. And yeah, pretty much here, he only has one healer left. I have multiple damage units left, and there's pretty much nothing he can do to me. So yeah, I win. And then, what's next? Axios, Forced. Okay, and this one is against Tomato Face, and I think this one's moderately interesting because this is the one I was thinking where I get a lot of use out of McLean and where I kind of mess up. Also, it's another rush team, and I'm P2 again, which is very, very annoying. So yeah, here he picks up Wedum because he wants to rush me, and I'm like, okay, I go Sissy White. Well, I don't go Sissy White, I go Christiane. And then, yeah, he starts banning out Gintohi because he's a pain in the butt, and he bans out one of my healers, gives me a free pick for a healer, which I actually don't take because I'm like, I can just end it. I can pretty much beat him up pretty easily now. Oh yeah, and just some thoughts. I didn't want him to kind of mess me up with his speed. I banned out McLean because I am going kind of infantry locked, which McLean really messes with, which I'll show you soon. Because I believe I pick up McLean here, and I also ban out Silda. Oh, actually, I pick up Epsilon here, because this is going to be a very brawly game. Here he bans out my healers, which is a pretty good pick, in all honesty. And then he picks up one of his healers. I was tempted to go L1 here, I believe, but he has the Sissy White soldiers, so I'm like, I'll pick up McLean, because he's also very useful here. And then he bans out my Elwyn, and here I pick up Warner, I believe, since I can kind of mess around with him with defensive stance, if need be. So yeah, here we go. This is kind of a degenerate game, in all honesty. So yeah, so now he's positioning himself fairly aggressively, and then I just throw down my Lord of the Storm, and here I actually learned that Terrain Master units are affected by the water, which is actually very, very nice to know. Also, I did that to pretty much lock in his team way back, so he doesn't have a ton of follow-up. So yeah, he's only able to move a little bit, but he gets a breeze, which is a pain in the butt. Also, I wanted you to notice that the Wedum is using Air Slash rather than Annihilation, which honestly a very bad decision. So now I position myself in a way where I can just start charging him with my units. So yeah, here I throw in Epsilon because I feel like he's the one who will probably carry my butt this game. And then, oh yeah, he gets another speed boost with Sissy White, which is actually kind of annoying. And here I just throw in, whatchamacallit, Warner's name, Warner, because I can, and since I can do a lot of damage. So yeah, Blades of Resolve pops, he gets a clock with that, he also plagues him, which is annoying, but doesn't really matter, because I get easy counterattack kill on this Wedum, which was very surprising to me. And then I have only a few options here because my Warner won't actually be able to heal, and he's also kind of getting pressured by this Epsilon, so... And also I don't really have any healing, so I'm like, I either send him in now and cause some trouble because this Archon can go in and pull my units around in an annoying way, or I can just go in and mess him up, which I honestly think I probably should have played a little bit more defensively now. But in any case, I send in Werner, and he almost dies to the Glacial Elementals, but I actually get life off of the Archon, which is kind of nice. But also, he uses Black Hole to finish off my Werner, which is actually very, very nice, because then he has less of a chance. My Epsilon has less to worry about. So here, I'm kind of in a bind, because the Archon can pretty much pull my units around, and well, actually, let me see. Yeah, actually, I didn't need to even send in McLean quite yet. I could have just had Christiane just stand there, because Archon could only pull my McLean at this point, which he may or may not. Yeah, which he wouldn't be able to kill off. So why did I send him McLean now? Should have sent him in later. In any case, I sent him McLean because I thought he was gonna get killed off, and my team would have got menaced if I didn't do it now. Also, I get 2 nice stuns on his team, so yay. And then McLean loses his first life. Yeah, and he dies pretty easily. Like, when I was first watching this match, I was wondering if I could get an easy kill. Wait, why the heck did I kill off that? Yeah, I didn't need to kill off the sword, because yeah, I would have gained first move if I just left. No way, I wouldn't have gone first turn if I let it be. Yeah, and also the Archon is also super low, so you wouldn't have been able to survive anything. What the heck am I doing? Jesus. In any case, my McLean goes down after being very useful. I'm pretty much locking his team down in the back for like a good chunk. And then, yeah, he's just doing Lucretia things. But in any case, I start moving up my Christiane so they can't get killed off. And then he tries to send in a cavalry, but doesn't realize that there's a billion water tiles. And here I send in my Iron Blood because I wanted to see if I could get a Dispel on the Epsilon, which I almost do. Like, yeah, I got really unlucky. There's a essentially 5 in 7 chance of me just killing off this Epsilon because of the shield being popped, but unfortunately I don't, and then my Iron Blood survives with like 1 health, which is awesome. And here I just finish off the Epsilon because kind of need to kill him off now so he doesn't get any shield back. And then Archon pretty much uses pull on yeah, uses my pull on the the Iron Blood, and pretty much dies, but even then he wouldn't really be able to do anything if he pulled my Epsilon, because my Epsilon would just kill him on counterattack. So yeah, my Epsilon goes in, kills off the Archon, loses his shield again, but there's absolutely nothing Tomato Face can do to me now, since he has to get through my Christiane, who is at full HP, and then I just kill off the puppet. Because at this point, I can just kill off his entire team with auto attacks. So yeah, sends in Lucretia, hits my Christiane for a bit, doesn't really do a ton. And then I just move my Christiane a bit further. And then, I believe, yeah, since Dark Reaper is down, he has to auto attack and face tank my Christiane. And then I just send in Epsilon to finish off the Lucretia, and I win. Yeah, since he has only a healer against a tank and a DPS who can pretty much wail on her. Also, my tank has a revive. Okay, so what is next? Oh yeah, Lord of Steel. This one actually is kind of interesting because Lord of Steel's box kind of blows. Like, it's very much stuck in the past. So I ban out Lucretia, and I'm like, what the heck is this anyways? Because he has like four tanks, and I'm like, I don't care about tanks. So I start banning out his DPS. He bans out my Epsilon because Assassins will mess him up. He picks up Lucretia. Rosensteel here, but I have like no debuff, so I don't care, and start banning out even more of his DPS units. And then I pick up Iron Blood since I have a billion assassins that can deal with this entire team. And he picks up Rosensteel, which Christian, who I don't care. I can start banning out more of his units that can't survive me, and then I pick up Diehard, which he realizes at this point that he can't beat me because I still have assassins, and yeah. So yeah, get a pretty easy one here. And then I'm like, I figure I might as well just do one more because this was my rank up match to Gold 2. So yeah, what next? So this one's actually pretty good because I completely fuck up the pick ban phase. And I also get this the second time my McClane gets first pick banned, which is very, very funny to me. But I think it's mostly because McClane is just kind of nutty in these water Apex maps. And I noticed that Yada is using a lot of infantry and long-legged units again, but it's kind of weird. Because, yeah. Yeah, this is kind of weird, to be honest. Like, it's kind of rushy, kind of play safety with a Boro and stuff, but in any case. I am kind of a dumbass here, and I don't really think with my pick bans at all. Because I end up picking up Wedem even before banning out the Hilda, because now he's just going to pick first pick Hilda, and that's going to be a huge problem for me. Huge problem. It's like, oh shit, now I just need to do damage control at this point because I don't really have any good responses. So I pick up Gintoki, since I'm like, if I throw units in, I can probably throw Gintoki in and be a menace. And then I'm like, oh, he's banning out more of healers, and then, oh shit, he picked up freaking Elwyn. This is really bad. So I ban out anything, some more of his single target units, and I pick up Warner, since he's basically like the only unit who can really survive an Elwyn assault. So yeah, I'm pretty much playing damage control at this point. He picks up Rosensteel, which honestly he doesn't really need to, because all he really needs is just units to run at me and kill me. And then I pick up Diehard here, since he's basically my only other assassins left, who has range. And then he picks up Azusa, who can resist my assassins, which is very bad for me. And then I pick up Liana, which is pretty much the better pick of Rosensteel versus Liana. And then he picks up Oboro here, which, not bad pick, but he doesn't really have any act against support to make Oboro useful faster. So yeah, I'm pretty much just shitting my pants about this Elwyn because I was kind of a dumbass. And here I quite clearly pick up defensive stance, since I'm very afraid of that Elwyn. But yeah. Yeah, and it's very obvious I'm afraid of the Elwyn. So yeah. I start positioning in my aggressive way again to send in my Gintoki and my Wedem. But I just realized that my positioning is kind of bad with my team. Like, I do have my Gintoki out of range, but I honestly should have my Wedem. Well, I think I mess up my positioning next turn. I'll show you later. In any case, I'm just positioning myself in a way so I don't get completely murdered by the Elwyn. And then I throw on Ode of Creation to Gintoki because I can. So yeah, Owen's pretty much acting as a check on pretty much all of my shenanigans, and yeah, my main worry is that he can just one-shot my units for free, and then I'll have to spend two actions to kill him. So Elwyn can reach all the way to, I believe, this square, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you can hit those these 3 squares. He can also hit my, I believe my Liana, and yeah, he can hit my Liana and my Warner, but he won't be able to kill either of them. Since it's really obvious that I have my Liana is fixed damage immune, and then my Warner just won't die. So yeah, I throw up Warner again because I just want to apply pressure here. And the thing is, he doesn't know that I actually pick up offensive stance because I'm playing extremely risky now. Because I'm like, I can pick up defensive stance and be completely useless, or I can make a risk and then pick up assault stance and potentially kill off one of his units here. So yeah, he's just kind of not really thinking about what I'm doing. And then here's what I mess up massively. I should have moved up Gintoki. little further because he has very short legs at the moment. And my Wedum can pretty much reach like all the way into the back line, so yeah. So yeah, I'm like, oh shit, I messed up the positioning for my Warner and Wedum. So here I just act him again because I might as well blow it now and get the most use of all these skills. And I position Wedum aggressively, so if he... Elwyn can go in, but probably won't kill the Wedum. And then, yeah. And then I put up Gintoki just slightly out of range since I'm being very aggressive. Here he throws down dominating formation, so I can't get too silly with my act again stuff, but it doesn't really matter since my positioning is good enough that I can just ignore it. Also, I just want to let you know that he brought 3 guard skills on Hilda. It's really funny. So yeah, I move up my Gintoki a little bit, kind of fishing for a breeze. And then, since he moves his L1 back quite a bit, I position my Warner, my Diehard very aggressively, since I can have map control. And so, now, Yata moves back, uses another guard skill. I believe he's not using his 3... Oh, he already used his 3C. Oh, he just used it, so yeah, he gets a nice long guard now. And now, here's kind of the kicker, and kind of funny action. So I believe here I send in my Warner, and I almost killed the Oboro. I'm like, I really should have just taken the risk and done a dual-bladed strike. Well, double strike, because that would have definitely killed off the Oboro for me, and it would have been very funny. And I would have traded kind of useless Warner for this kind of useless Oboro, which in my books is a decent trade. So yeah, I almost killed off the Oboro, so just kind of goes to show I need more attack on my Warner. And then I'm like, oh shit, now I get defensive stance. Yeah, now that I think about it, I probably should have just done dual-bladed strike, because if I killed him off, killed off the Oboro here, I would have gone offensive stance and then thrown him over here, which, even though Asusa has like no attack buffs, she definitely would have killed off my Warner even with the assault stance. Plus the Elwyn doesn't want to send in Elwyn yet because my team would really mess him up. In any case, he just Dragon Rebirths and kind of does nothing. And here I'm like, okay, now I can get shenanigan with my Actigans. So here I throw in my Wedum, and also, now that I think about it, I probably should have... One second. Yeah, I should have moved my Wedum back there for a second to potentially get this Incendium only on the Hilda, because now I'm just stripping her stuff. Well, stripping her crystal guard stuff, and now he takes the bait, finally kills off one of my units, so my Gintoki can act again. I throw him in, and then I insta-gib the Oboro. Yeah, Oboro does nothing, gets no attacks, instantly dies, and then does a lot of damage to my Gintoki, but my Gintoki's pretty much dead meat now. And then, since I threw my sword onto the Rosen Seal, I get an easy kill on her. So, go in, get an easy kill on Rosen Seal, and then, funnily enough, all the Crystal Guard is gone on Hilda, so I just go back, stun her. So, now he has to deal with all my units, just going completely ham on his entire team. And yeah, sure, my again dies, but it's like, whatever at this point. So yeah, I do a bunch of damage to Asusa, and then I finish her off with my whatchamacallit, with my Warner, who he's honestly not that useful anymore. Also, that Elwyn is whatchamacallit, is Toilet Star, which is funny. So yeah, I'm kind of in a bad spot right now since my Warner is dead, and I only have my whatchamacallit, I only have my Diehard left. And here I realized I could have moved my Diehard from here to back here, so I could just activated him again and then done some more shenanigans and keep my team out of the way so the Elwyn couldn't heal. Yeah, why didn't I do that? Why didn't I do that? Oh well, live and learn. So yeah, let's just move that back one sec. So the better move here would have been to move my Diehard back, because Hilda can't use Dominating Formation on him. I then act him again, so his cooldowns are down, and then I move Diehard like right here or right there, so I can pretty much kill the Elwyn next turn. So yeah, that was kind of bad movement on me. But in any case, I don't do the smart move, and I started buffing up my team. Here, the Elwyn. Yeah, my main worry is the Elwyn at this point, so I move my Diehard back one, and then, yeah, my Leanna survives easily. And then I try to heal her back up, but at this point, she's dead. But here's the sneaky thing I do. I bait his Elwyn back there. Yeah, I bait his Elwyn over there. I get my 3C back up on Diehard. Move my Diehard into the range of the Hilda. Stun her. And then I do it all over again. And then Hilda is stuck in the fog, and now she can't get into the fog no matter what, so I win. Yeah, and then I get to gold 2, which, yeah, that's cool. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to review today. And yeah, my throat is feeling a bit sore, so I think I'm going to call it there, and I hope everybody enjoyed this. And like I said, I'll try to do some weekly game reviews. So even if, yeah, I'll try to do some game reviews on a weekly basis on Sundays, but we'll see. Plus, I don't think I'm going to try to take it a bit easier on this, yeah, on like this season of Apex, so I'll probably just ask the community to send me games to review moving forward. Well, in any case, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you around. Have a good one. Bye.